What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of Gridiron Views, episode 8, going corporate. Absolutely, business is about to pick up. But before business picks up, let's go ahead and holler at the guys that are getting ready to help business pick up. We got Tyree in the building and we got Andre. What's going on, fellas? How you doing?
Doing phenomenal, brother, man. Every day above ground is a good day, man. How about yourself, y'all?
Hey man, today is the day that the Lord has made. And before we get into it, man, I wanna say shout out to everybody that's listening, that's tuned in. And don't forget, man, double check if you subscribed or not. Sometimes it happens to me. Sometimes I think I'm subscribed to a channel or I'm following somebody on social media because I see their stuff all over the place. And come to find out, I'm not subscribed, I'm not following. So just do me a favor, double check and make sure you subscribe, man. While you at it, if you enjoy the content, tell somebody else about it, man.
Love my dogs, but let's be honest. We've been riding dirty for a minute, but we got to clean that up. So, hey, hit that subscribe button. It's like driving with a driver's license and doing a speed limit, y'all. But before we get to that, let's go ahead and get to the first topic of the day. Will corporate jersey deals ruin college sports?
Corporate jersey sponsors will not destroy college football, but it will make the jerseys look professional. On the positive side, teams like Ohio State making $17 million a year with Chase Bank to Notre Dame earning around $20 million with SoFi. It's unlimited potential when you talk about money earnings, helping the university with scholarships, academic programs. There's also a downside to this, having company logos on famous legacy jerseys. It ruins the old traditions by making the uniforms look like walking billboards. At the end of the day, it's about making sure these athletic programs are competitive in the NIL era.
Just call it free advertisement. It's nothing but a walking billboard for those that are watching collegiate sports, not just with football, but just all the sports. It's a way to have free advertisement when you're seeing these guys run up and down the court. And think about it, when you get the facial close-ups on players, you see the patches on those jerseys as well. So that is another form of advertisement, but they're just doing it in a different way. And then you talk about donating to the NIL pot. I don't know, Dre and Tyree. I think it's good to a certain extent because it helps out with NIL deals. But on the other hand, I think it could possibly tarnish a few things if we're talking about the way that this is set up now.
Yeah, I don't think necessarily that a sponsor patch by itself ruins college football, but the sport has been becoming more and more commercial over time. And I think that that's dangerous, right? It's not necessarily the patches, but it's how much of the sport are you willing to sell? Because we've seen examples of patches, we've seen examples of people putting sponsorship on the field. I mean, we've seen the Big 12 literally sell the naming rights to the conference to Monster Energy. That's where it gets dangerous to me. It's not necessarily the patches on the jersey because, yes, with the rise of NIL, you have to have the funds to be able to pay for it. But at what point is enough and you say, no, we're not going to keep selling more and more of the game. We're going to stay at the level that we're at. So the patches don't worry me, but the evolution past the patches is kind of what worries me going forward.
Well, when you sit back and you think about it and you talk about teams that are starting to get more and more deals, and I mentioned when we talked about the fans coming in, making sure they like and subscribe, please do. They can't ride around here like a Georgia Bulldog, can't be reckless on the highways like my boys do. We reckless on the field, but we've been reckless off of it, unfortunately. But Dre, how do you feel with the new sponsorship they have? How do you think that might help them pick up a little bit?
Hey man, Georgia partnering with Progressive makes perfect sense. They finally found somebody willing to cover all that reckless driving. Look, I think that was a match made in heaven, man. I think next they should try to get a NASCAR patch on the jerseys, just really get it, really go full on in on it. Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Rod. Georgia's a Nike school. They could go to the Jordan brand because he got his NASCAR team, man. That's an alley oop
we
right there.
and here's the thing, we could do that, but here's another nugget. Nate McBride, one of our former linebackers, is actually a pit crew member in NASCAR right now, by the
Oh
way.
wow. Oh
So
wow.
again, it's all meshing together, Dre and Tyree. The need
Boy,
for speed.
beep beep.
Hey man, if you want to drive fast and not graduate, go to Athens.
Hold it. No, we ain't doing that. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'll let you get that off, but you're not gonna get this off. Look, you sitting there talking that mess. No, we actually have pretty good graduation rate. Don't do that, sir.
Yeah, I got one of the lowest graduation rates in the country. Stop it. It was
Again,
like around last
again,
time I
you're
looked, it
just
was
speaking
around
for football.
50%.
Hold on. You're just speaking for football players. When you
That's what
say
I'm talking about.
graduation
Yeah,
rate,
with Kirby.
nah, Mark Rick was throwing a lot of kids out of the school, but if we gonna sit back and be honest, the ones that graduate, we actually have a couple of engineers that have come through. Unlike people that take basket weaving to Alabama, most of them
Uh,
understand smoking cigarettes and basket weaving. They get to the league, and you just see
If
it. They don't last
hey
long.
man, you want to talk about that? But last I heard, there was a player that caught 6 passes in the Super Bowl against your Falcons that couldn't read when he got to Georgia, and nobody at Georgia helped him learn how to read. He had to go join a book club with the elderly women and go read books with them to get
oh
literate.
Actually,
wow.
So
you're talking about Malcolm Mitchell. Actually, he started that book club while he was at University of
no, no,
Georgia.
no, no. He did not. No, he did
No,
not
no, no.
start
He
the book
actually
club.
started.
I
I'm
just
trying to
read
tell
the
you,
I
this is
just
how
read
this
about
happened.
it. I just read about it, and he said
And
he joined the book club with older women and started
yeah,
reading the same novels that they were
and
reading.
and he
Then he
was
started
enjoying the way
going to
he did
read
it.
to the elementary school kids, and then
Andre,
he wrote his own book. The
Andre.
Athens ain't help him. Hey, look,
No, no,
the
Andre,
women
I'm not gonna let
outside of the
you do that.
university
No,
didn't help
stop.
him more
Hold
than
up.
anybody
I'm
else.
not going to let you do that because right now, the reason I know this is because a good friend of mine, Brian Evans, was his teammate at Georgia, and Brian was actually with him when he started that book club. And if you don't know who Brian Evans is, he wore number 3. He tried out, played for the Cincinnati Bengals for a short period of time. He's back in Jacksonville, Florida. Shout out to B. Evans doing his thing. But at the end of the day, this is just what it is. He started doing that while he was in Athens. He created his own book club when he got to New England, but he joined the book club while he was playing at Georgia. He
That's
even
what I
did that a
said though.
long time ago.
But that's
So
what I said.
again,
I said he joined a book club with older women
yeah,
in the
while he was
Athens
playing.
area, but not it wasn't a university thing. He went outside the university to learn how to read.
But here's the thing though, you put that on University of Georgia, let's be honest. When you're at the collegiate level, you qualify to be able to read, write, pretty much do math or whatever requirements you have for your college credits. He skimmed through high school. That's what that is. That had nothing to do with University of Georgia. So if you're going to put that type of emphasis on it, at least call out the high school that he went to. Wasn't the school, sir.
Well, no,
So
he spoke about how he came from Valdosta and he said that education wasn't really pushed. Which, by the way, if we got any
exactly.
younger people listening right now, education is more important than athletics, and we need to get back to actually telling people that. But my point was just they could have helped him when he got there. He was reading at a junior
No,
high
don't do
level.
that because
He was
here's the
reading at a
thing.
junior high level, right?
But here's the thing though. You got some people that read at a 4th grade, 5th grade level that's playing college ball now. Be honest, dog. Let's be honest with that. When you talk about Malcolm Mitchell, a guy that literally ended up becoming a Super Bowl champ, yeah, I'm not mad about that. But at the same time, I also look at it like this. He could have been like Dexter Manley, who played for the Washington Redskins, who used to terrorize Phil Simms back in the day and really change his life. Took for him to go to prison. Also, it took for him to learn how to read. He went to a program and he got skimmed through Oklahoma State. And he was one of the best 6th-round picks that ever played the game. And was up there with Lawrence Taylor with sacks, by the way. Just saying. Two of the best pass rushers during that time, LT and Dexter Manley. So just a little nugget for you.
Another nugget, man. In reality, a majority of the United States reading level, a lot of people read at a fifth grade reading level in this country. So that's not saying much, Andre. It's sad but true.
Exactly.
Oh, no, that's a fact. Especially the
But
ones
it's
that go to
okay though.
Akron. You know, they don't even graduate. About 55% or 60%. It was somewhere around there. As
Well,
opposed
it
to
don't.
in the
Hey, come
'90s
on, man.
for
Hey,
the
look,
'90s
a
for
lot of our players and
Roll
whatnot.
Tide
You're
over there,
absolutely
especially.
right. They come back to the program. They help coach. They do well. Reuben Foster right now is smoking them cancer sticks and literally talk about what he used to be. Just saying. Won't have too many of those.
Well, look,
Oh
But
I
boy,
mean,
oh buddy.
let me stop
his
cutting those. See, he tried to talk about my wide receiver or whatever. I got to talk about his linebacker.
Malcolm Mitchell actually said that his greatest achievement and the legacy he's created for himself was not playing football, was actually learning to read and going on to become an author. And speaking of legacy, who owns Jayden Daniels' legacy? Him or LSU?
I think I'm just gonna be honest with you. LSU owns the jersey, but the work that was put in, that's Jayden Daniels. And if we're gonna be honest about the whole situation, Joe Burrow's number was never given out since he left. It's only a few numbers that have been retired at LSU for football. You got Billy Cannon, a Heisman Trophy winner, is one. Burt Jones. You have Charles Alexander, Jerry Stovall, and Tommy Casanova. When you look at all of these players that have been retired, those numbers, some of those numbers are still given out. That number 7 for Burt Jones is still given out. I've still seen number 4 given out. I mean, so what's the difference? They retire those numbers, but they're still given out. And when you look at it, Joe Burrow's number hasn't been given out, but let's be honest, there was a national championship attached to it. So I think that kind of elevates that Heisman Trophy just a little bit more.
Jayden Daniels had an uneventful career, average at best at Arizona State. Then he transferred to LSU and had a complete career transformation winning the Heisman. Kudos to him on that. But if we're doing apples and oranges, comparing him to Joe Burrow is night and day different. It's a different stratosphere. Joe Burrow had one of the most historical seasons of all time, breaking all types of ungodly records to an undefeated national championship. The only thing Jaden did was win a division and then turned around and won the Heisman. Kudos to that, but that does not deserve a jersey retirement, man. In my opinion.
Can I be honest with you, Tyree?
What's up?
He didn't win a division. He lucked up into winning that division. Nick Saban had one of the rare moments where he just had a brain fart and made a decision in that LSU game that made no sense, and it opened the door for them to win that game. Went for 2 late in that game and mathematically it did nothing to help the probability of us winning that football game. And if we just go for 1, we're up by 4. Going for 2 puts us up by 5. Now in football, you can either score a field goal, put 3 on the board, you score a touchdown, put 6 on the board. Neither one of those is putting 5 points on the board. So it made no sense for us to go for 2 in that situation. And Nick Saban said as much after that game. Outside of that, I will say Jayden Daniels owns Jayden Daniels, right? He owns his name, image, and likeness. He owns his representation. And if LSU doesn't have the rights to keep using his name, image, and likeness, then they got to stop using it. But they also own the history associated with their program, right? Because Jayden Daniels went to that school and played for them. Honestly, his Heisman, I don't think he deserved to win that year either. I think that was Michael Penix Heisman, and to this day, I'm flabbergasted that he didn't win the Heisman. The season that he had, beating Oregon twice, mind you, both of those games happened before the Heisman voting, and just the numbers, he put up prolific numbers. And that's not to say Jayden Daniels didn't. But Michael Penix did that en route to an undefeated season. Jayden Daniels had 3 losses on his resume by then. So it just, to me, it never made any sense for him to win the Heisman. I don't think Jayden Daniels truly deserved to win the Heisman the year that he won the Heisman. I think Penix should have won the Heisman that year. But that's a different conversation than who owns the legacy. I think Jayden Daniels owns, obviously, his own NIL, but the university owns the history. And I think there's a fine line there between the two, right? Because how do you tell the history of the program without mentioning the player and their accomplishments at the program. So I think that Jayden Daniels has the right to tell them, hey, I don't want you guys to use my name to make money off of it. But LSU also has the right to be able to say, you're part of our history. You decided to come play for our program. And just like every other great player in the past whose number gets passed along, I mean, look at Florida right now. They got a quarterback ran the number 15. Was Jayden Daniels a better quarterback in college than Tim Tebow? I don't think so. You don't see Tebow out here sending cease and desist to the university over a number. Jayden Daniels, yes, he has the right to be upset because they gave out his number after promising not to give out his number. But I think the university also has the right to use his name and his accomplishments because it's part of their history at the program.
Speaking
It,
of history, can teams reuse jersey numbers at the major awards?
it depends on the school. It depends on the school because I know at University of Georgia, you got Herschel Walker's numbers retired, Frank Sinkwinch's numbers retired, Charlie Trippy's numbers retired. And these guys were top of the line echelon. We got 4 numbers retired or whatnot at UGA. That was just a few that I just named. But you also look at the pros. The Chicago Bears retire numbers, but at the same time, they still issue certain numbers out, even though they're retired. But they have to have permission from the players or the players' families for those numbers to be used, though. I think you could retire a number, but I think it should be up to a player's family, or if they're still living, the player itself, to issue that number.
It's a catch-22, man. Like, if you did something out of this world, say, for instance, going to the pros, Tom Brady, jersey retired. Um, Peyton Manning, jersey retired. If you had like an okay career, years go on. Like, the history of the NFL has a story to tell, man. It's okay to see another player play in your jersey.
Drew Pearson, Michael Irvin, CeeDee Lamb, and Des Bryant. What do those guys all have in common? They
The
all wore
88
number
club.
88, right?
Yeah.
Malik Neighbors just got the number 1, which was retired forever by the Giants. And by the way, like, I think there should be a time limit on how long these jerseys are retired. Because we got so many jerseys retired with the Giants. And these dudes were playing before World War II. Like, at some point, you got to bring these numbers back. You only have a certain amount of numbers that you can actually give out. And I think that retiring a jersey does less for a legacy than giving it to the next great from that program. I mean, LSU, they do this already. And the interesting thing about it is, did you guys know that LSU actually has something written in their rules that allows for them to give out a retired number to a player?
What? You serious?
Yep, it's in the small. It's how they say the fine print. It's in the fine print.
Oh, oh man, you
Yes.
gotta love the fine print.
So if they are, by their own rules, allowed to give out retired numbers, Jayden Daniels getting a promise from the coaching staff that his jersey wouldn't be used anymore is not enough of a reason to not give it out, especially if it was part of the reason why you were able to get DJ Pickett, who is probably one of the best corners in the nation, at least in his draft class. Right, in 2028, we're going to be talking about him as a potential first rounder. He's a guy that made noise for them last year. He's a guy that's going to continue to make noise for them this year. So I think that all of this is just really overblown, and it's something that it could have been avoided. It really could have been avoided, especially at the college level where there's a lot more tradition that goes into like guys getting a number and carrying on that legacy. I just don't understand what all of this is really about outside of him looking like a bitter ex at this point. So I don't agree with it. I think he fumbled the bag on this, regardless if it was him or like people are speculating his mom. He's a grown man. At some point, you got to put your foot down and say no. So I mean, it's true, man. Like people people are trying to absolve him of the blame when it's saying that it's his mom that put all this in motion.
I have jokes, but I have nothing to say.
I believe
I'ma
that
hold
alone,
off.
man. No category fives, but they category sixes now. But I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna
Good
stop.
God Almighty!
I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop. Lord have mercy.
Nah, ain't no need to stop. You already done opened that can of worms.
You know what? I'm gonna throw it out into the ocean, for the fish to eat, man. I'm not even gonna do it because it's so easy. It's so many jokes, the five gum joke, the Abraham Lincoln $5 bill. I'm gonna leave that alone. The memes are endless,
Hey,
man. But
man, a lot of us don't have 5 on it no more. Shout out to the loonies. A lot of us don't have 5 on it no more. We got $4.99 on it now.
$4.99, man. Hey, shout out to the pastor in the church. He said it ain't no five no more. It's $4.99.
Hey,
But
man, we won't even have listen, we used to have 5 for 5 at Wendy's back in the day. We won't even have that no more.
Lord have mercy, man. Season assist. Lord, Lord, Lord. Oh
Hey,
man.
man, anybody that use 5 out here, be careful. Jayden Daniels gonna pretty much take you to court for it. Be careful, y'all.
Hey,
Hey,
I
I'm
was just
worried. My Giants got to play. My Giants got to play Jayden Daniels week 5, and Kayvon Thibodeau wear the number 5. So I'm interested to see, man. I think they might make us forfeit that game, and in the second matchup, Kayvon might not be allowed to play. It's nasty out here, man.
Lord have mercy. This has been a great episode of Gridiron Views going corporate. More life, more blessings. This is episode 8 of Gridiron Views.